All right, let's jump right in. We're going to go on a pretty wild 500-year journey from these ancient handwritten ledgers all the way to the intelligent systems that are literally shaping our future. This whole thing is about the evolution of rules, the very DNA of our institutions. I mean, it's a fundamental truth, right? It doesn't matter if you're running a school, a hospital, or a massive company, there are always procedures, we call them standard operating procedures, or SOPs, that basically dictate how things get done. They're the invisible architecture holding everything together. And yeah, here's the universal problem, isn't it? We create these amazing detailed procedures, but what happens? They end up as paper in a binder somewhere, or a file that's totally lost on the server. The system doesn't break because the rules are bad. It breaks because nobody's following them.
Oh man, we have all heard this one before. This quote, it just perfectly captures the total failure of what we could call SOPs 3.0. Yeah, the information is digital, it's technically accessible, but it's passive. You, a human, have to stop what you're doing, search for it, and then remember to actually follow it. And let's be honest, most of the time, that just doesn't happen.
So this is the really big idea, the huge paradigm shift we're talking about. We're moving away from these static manuals that, well, nobody reads, into a world of ambient intelligence where nobody has to. The procedure is no longer something you go look up, it's something that's right there with you, participating. So let's start by looking back for a second, because to really understand where we're going, you have to get the one fatal flaw that has plagued every single generation of procedures up until now. Just look at this timeline. You can see the progression so clearly. We went from all the knowledge being held by one person, the custodian, to written manuals, then to digital PDFs and wikis. More recently, we've had smart SOPs that have a little more context. But now we are right at the dawn of Generation 5.0, ambient intelligence. Now, what's so fascinating about this is how it shows that every generation solved one problem, but it ended up creating a new one. The custodian model, super fragile. The person leaves, the knowledge is gone. Written manuals, people just didn't follow them consistently. Digital SOPs, they created this huge, complex mess. Even the smart systems had big integration gaps. Every step forward just introduced a more sophisticated way to fail. And that sets the stage for why Gen 5.0 is such a massive leap. So this brings us to the core idea, where things get really exciting. We're talking about procedures that are no longer just dead documents. They're becoming active, living intelligence that's woven right into the fabric of an organization. So what exactly are SOPs 5.0? Well, think of them as an agent, a system that can actually see what's happening through sensors, reason about that situation using AI, and then take action. It's not a manual. It's basically the new operating system for your entire institution. And this line, this just says it all. The procedure is no longer this passive bystander that you might check in with if you have time. It's an active participant in the work itself, making sure the right thing happens at the right time every single time. Okay, I know. This might be starting to sound a little bit like science fiction, so let's break down exactly how it works. There's actually a pretty clear 5-layer architecture that makes all this ambient intelligence possible. Okay, so it starts with sensing. The system uses data to see the world. Then it adds context, so it can actually understand what all that data means. Next up is reasoning, where an AI agent figures out what to do. Then comes execution. The system takes action. And finally, and this is so crucial, it learns. It gets smarter with every single cycle. Theory is one thing, but let's make this feel real. What would this actually look like in practice? We're going to walk you through a single day at a school campus that's running on SOPs 5.0. So the day starts before anyone even gets there. The building isn't just on, it's completely optimized. The environment is proactively managed for peak learning, all based on that day's schedule. This isn't just about saving energy. It's about automatically creating the perfect conditions for learning. Now this is where the intelligence really shines. The system doesn't just see an absence and log it. It understands the context. An absence the school was told about, that's routine. But an unexplained one, that's a potential welfare issue, and it gets escalated immediately. The system knows the difference between simple admin and a potential emergency. So picture this. Smack in the middle of a lesson, CO2 levels start to creep up, which we all know hurts concentration. the teacher doesn't have to notice. The system does. It senses the change, it acts to fix it by kicking on the ventilation, and it gently lets the room know, all without breaking the flow of teaching. Then, at lunchtime, an invisible layer of safety just kicks in. A last-minute change to a recipe could be a total disaster for a student with allergies. But here, the system cross-references the menu, the student allergy data, and that change, and it flags the risk before a single plate is served. A potential crisis is just gone, avoided before anyone even knew there was a problem. And at the end of the day, the principal gets a summary. But I want you to notice the language here. It's a situation report, not a list of fires to put out. This completely transforms leadership from just reacting to problems all day to being proactive and informed by data. So as you can see, this is way more than just a cool collection of gadgets. Adopting this level of intelligence, well, it's quickly becoming a question of long-term survival for any complex institution. And this isn't just theory. Look at this number. One school district in Florida is saving $13 million a year. This isn't some future projection. This is a real, proven result from smart energy management. The return on investment here is absolutely massive. Okay, beyond money, what about human potential? Take Kaiser Permanente. By deploying Ambient AI to handle documentation, they freed up almost 16,000 hours of physician time. That is time doctors can now spend with patients instead of being buried in paperwork. It's about letting your most valuable people do their most valuable work. But look, the ultimate test is always mission success. At Georgia State University, using a whole suite of data-driven tools helped them increase graduation rates by an incredible 23 percentage points. This is the proof. Intelligent systems don't just save money or time, they directly improve the core reason an institution even exists. This all leads to a really provocative final thought. There's this theory in astrophysics called the Great Filter, which basically suggests that civilizations might fail when their own complexity outpaces their ability to manage it. So the real question for every leader today is this: are your systems evolving fast enough to handle the complexity of your own world? So let's end with something you can use right now, a quick gut check. Ask yourself these 5 questions about your own organization. Be honest. If you answer yes to 3 or more of them, your institution's core operating system is already at least 2 generations out of date. The world of intelligent execution is here. The only real question left is whether your institution will be a part of it.